Hey guys, welcome back. Super excited to share with you today one of my favorite dishes of all time, grilled fish tacos. I've eaten fish tacos at a lot of different restaurants and frankly I usually leave unimpressed. But the recipe and the method that I've worked out and that I'm going to share with you today, I think you're going to love. And your friends and family are going to love it also. So stick with me to the end and let's see how we do it. Also, if you like the content I bring, consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to see you back here. And if you like this video, consider giving it a like as well. That really helps me out. I'm John Rustling. This is Rustling Cooks. Let's get started. Alright guys, for our cream sauce, I have a number of different ingredients that we're going to be putting in the blender in a second. I'm going to be putting in a tablespoon of olive oil, a cup of plain Greek yogurt, I have a quarter cup of mayonnaise, I have one Chipotle pepper in Adobe sauce, a half a teaspoon of salt, a pinch of Cayenne Pepper, 2 chopped garlic cloves, half a teaspoon of ground cumin or ground comino, quarter teaspoon of ground allspice, 2 freshly chopped tablespoons of cilantro, and I'm going to squeeze in 1/2 of a freshly cut lime. All of these ingredients will be down in the description of the video, so you'll be able to find the list there. We're going to put this all in the blender and get it blended up to a nice creamy consistency. Be sure to use just the one pepper. There's multiple peppers in here, but this is just one pepper, so that's important. Now for the cayenne pepper, this is going to add a little kick to what we're doing here, so we want to be careful with this. So I'm just putting in, it's really about 1/8 of a teaspoon, something like that I'm sprinkling in there just to give it a little bit of kick. And then finally, let's squeeze in a half of a lime. I'm actually deciding I'm going to go ahead and squeeze in the whole lime. Tablespoon of olive oil. All right, let's get that on the blender and get it mixed up. And what I'll do is I'll just take a little bit on my finger here, and that has a nice kick to it. Certainly it's got enough cayenne in it. I can certainly taste the chipotle coming through there. So we're not going to add anything else, and we're going to move on to the next step. Alright guys, for our next step, what we're going to do is we're going to take our fish fillets, and I'm going to coat them in the cream sauce that we just made. And then we're going to put those in a Ziploc bag actually, and leave them for about a half hour to 45 minutes to let that cream sauce marinate the fish. You can use any white fish that you would like for this particular recipe. You can use tilapia or maybe cod or something of that nature if you have a preference. The fish that I'm using today, and I got this at my local grocery store, and the package here says Bossa Nova, and this is also, the name is striped Pangasius Swai Fillet. So this comes from, natively comes from Indochina, from the waters around Vietnam. This eats vegetable, plant life, I should say, in the water, whereas say your tilapia is typically a ground feeder. It's a trash feeder. By the way, I like tilapia. I've eaten tilapia for years. But Bossa, again, it eats plant life. It's a white fish. It's very flaky. It doesn't have a strong fishy flavor at all. It's a very mild fish, and it's great for just about any fish recipe that you want to use it for. So today we're going to coat it in our sauce. You want to be careful that you don't cross-contaminate your cream sauce with the raw fish. We're going to be using that sauce on or in our actual taco at the very end. So you don't want to cross-contaminate the sauce with the raw fish. So let's get this coated and get it into the Ziploc bag. Alright guys, for the next step, while the fish is marinating, and by the way, just a comment about the marinating, you don't want to let that marinate for more than about an hour tops. 30 minutes to an hour is good. You want to be careful because of the lime juice that's in there, that will actually sort of cook the fish. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut some cabbage, and we're going to cut some cilantro, and we're going to be cutting some fresh lime. It's going to top everything off just right. And everything is fresh and fresh chopped. And you might ask, John, do we have to cut the lime fresh? Can't we just use a lime squeezer, those little lime balls that you buy at the store, and then you just squeeze that out? And my response is, I can't believe you just asked me that. I mean, really? Now on the red cabbage, if you've never used red cabbage, I like to throw away you really should throw away the outside layers, the first 3 or 4 layers. They tend to be kind of rubbery. You want to get to the inside layers. They're going to be a lot more tender. You want a little bit of crunch, that's nice, but you don't want too much. You want slices, you know, about like this, okay? So that's kind of what you're going for. Alright guys, we're out on the grill now. It's time to get the fish going, and I'm going to be using today these copper coated grill mats. I've used in the past silicone mats, and we're going to try the copper mats today. I just picked these up at the local grocery store, so these are great if you're going to be cooking seafood, shrimp, anything that might fall through your grill grates, and vegetables as well. They're really nice because they'll give you still the grill mark, which is nice. They'll also tend to keep a lot of the moisture, so if you cook fish just over the grates themselves, which I have done many times, it tends to come out a little drier, whereas if you cook them over a silicone mat or a copper mat like I'm going to use today, they tend to retain their moisture. They're pretty non-stick as they are, but it doesn't hurt to put some butter or olive oil sprayed before you put your fish on. Alright, the grill has certainly come up to temp. I have my burners at about medium high. I'm going to turn those down just a little bit. I've also got some lime that I cut earlier, and we're going to go ahead and squeeze some of this out over the fish. Just a little sprinkle of salt here on the fish. We're just going to let that cook for a minute. It doesn't take too long on these mats, so I'm just going to close this lid here to the grill, and we're just going to give it a couple of minutes, and then we'll come back and flip it over. Okay, it's time to take a look here and turn these over. We're going to turn these over nice and carefully. That was not too careful. Okay. Those are coming along good. So it's been, I've had them on one side for about 5 minutes or so. So we'll put them on this side really for just maybe about another 3 minutes, and this will be ready to go. We'll take them off. Now I almost forgot, I do want to go ahead and squeeze a little bit more lime on here, and I will also just a little bit of salt. I want to be careful with the salt at this point. We'll close this up and give it just a few more minutes. Alright, it's been about 3 minutes since we closed the lid on this last side here, so I'm just going to check it here. What you're looking for here on the fish is that it will real easily flake away like you're seeing right here. We just want it to flake away on the inside there. Yeah, this is exactly the texture that we're looking for, the response from the meat that we're looking for to know that those are ready. You don't want to leave the fish on too long, it will dry out, and that's not what we're going for. So these are ready to go ahead and take off. This is smelling delicious, guys, and we're going to put the lid on this to keep it warm while we go inside and get the tortillas ready. We're about ready to start making our tacos. So it's just time to heat up the corn tortillas now. Now, I personally prefer and recommend using white corn tortillas with these fish tacos. So all I've done is taken a napkin here and I've layered in napkin, tortilla, and I've moistened the napkins so there's just a little damp. And that will help as and what I'm gonna do is put these in the microwave. So having them damp like that just helps to keep the tortillas moist as they are in the microwave. I'm gonna put these in for about 30 seconds and then we're ready to make the tacos. All right guys, with the tortilla warmed up and we're ready to go ahead and make our taco, our fish taco. So we're just going to take some fish chunks. We don't need all of that. Let's take some of this out here. And I'm just gonna break it up into some small pieces like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle out some of this sauce on here. Oh, this is smelling delicious, by the way. I can't wait to take a bite. And we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of cabbage. Now this one's a little thick. I don't like that one. I kind of talked to you about earlier about the thickness of the cabbage and what it's supposed to, the part that it's supposed to play in this show. So I'm gonna leave out any of the thick pieces that I think are too rubbery. But we're just going to go for the thin ones. There we go. And the last thing I'm going to do is just squeeze some lime. Just a little bit. There we go. And we're ready to taste this. Wow. That is delicious, guys. Really, really good. This is one of my favorite dishes for sure. That cream sauce is delicious. The fish is perfect. The red cabbage adds just a little bit of crunch to it. It's really nice. You can also add some lettuce to this if you'd like. But that's perfect the way I like it. Again, cilantro is a good addition. If you like cilantro, I would add some of that and try it in there. This is absolutely fantastic. Listen guys, if you like trying new things, if you like fish, if you like spicy, this has got a bit of a kick to it. I love that, by the way. I strongly recommend this recipe. You can add a few of your own twists in there if you'd like, but I think you'll really love it, and I think you'll surprise your friends. You know, when you say fish tacos, friends and family, they're like, oh, that sounds weird, but I promise you, make it for them, have them take a bite, they won't be disappointed. This has been another Cook in the Books. I really appreciate you being back here with me. I've got a lot of good seafood cooks coming up and a lot of other cooks planned as well. So subscribe if you haven't already, and give me a like if you like this video, and we'll see you next time.